In the headlines, troops rescue 6 kidnapped victims in Kebbi forests. Tribunal orders INEC to provide Kogi electoral materials within 48 hours. One rescued as building under construction collapses in Abuja. And on the foreign scene, Sierra Leone declares nationwide curfew after attack on armory. Hello and welcome to the Trust TV News Update. I'm Aisha Salihu. Thanks for joining us. We begin with security matters, where troops of the Nigerian Army and local vigilantes have rescued 6 hostages abducted by bandits in a forest in Shanga local government area of Kebbi State. The all-male hostages were rescued in good condition on Friday and had been reunited with their families. This was disclosed in a statement on Sunday by the Special Advisor to Governor Nasir Idris on Media and Publicity, Yahya Sarki. He commended the gallant efforts of the troops, reiterating the unwavering commitment of Karan Gwandu's led administration towards supporting the security agencies in the state. Still on security matters, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Chris Gwabin Musa, has called on troops of Operation Mugumbugu II in Niger State to continue to persevere in the ongoing fight against banditry and insurgency in the country. The Chief of Defense Staff gave the charge at the 2-week exercise of Operation Mugumbugu II 2023 at the Nigerian Army Main Training Area, Kotongora, the headquarters of Kotongora Local Government Area of Niger State. Represented by Major General Jal Jima, Chief of Doctrine and Combat Development, the Chief of Defense Staff expressed satisfaction with the display by the troops and charged them to always demonstrate high sense of professional conduct in the discharge of their national duties. He extolled the resilience of the troops, saying that the aim and objective of training tagged Operation Mugumbugu was to adequately prepare the troops to effectively discharge their duties in both combined and joint operations. General Musa reminded the troops that the nation is confronted with many security challenges that have necessitated the deployment of troops on various tasks across the country, and urged them to always get prepared to put into practice what they have learned in the defense of Nigeria. Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tarid Lagwaja, also said exercise Mugumbugu was designed to exercise a typical Nigerian Army division in all maneuvers, with emphasis on integrating land and air operations command and control in all phases of limited, conventional, and asymmetric operations. And now, away from that, the Governorship Election Petition Tribunal in Kogi has given the Independent National Electoral Commission 48 hours to issue certified copies of electoral materials on the November 11 off-cycle election in the state to the Social Democratic Party. It also ordered the Electoral Commission to allow SDP's forensic experts to examine some electoral materials. The materials include the bimodal voter accreditation system and result sheets for Adavi, Okene, Okehi, Ogorimagongo, Ajaokuta, Lokoja, Kogi, and Basa local government areas. The tribunal ruled last week Saturday in Lokoja that the SDP requested the materials to prove its case in the petition it filed against the victory of the All Progressives Congress at the election. Chairman of the Tribunal, Justice Ado Bernin Kudu, gave the order following 2 ex parte motions filed on November 19 by the SDP and by its governorship candidate, Murtala Yakubu Ajaka. Former Governor of Jigawa State, Sule Lamido, says the current hardship in the country will take Nigerians to the grave due to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's acts of continuing with policies of former President Muhammadu Buhari. Lamido speaks to Media Trust Group's Northwest Bureau Chief Ahmad Dati in Kano. Here is that report.
Cost of living crisis in the country may worsen, according to report, because the number of Nigerians living on less than $1 per day may rise to 40 million. President Bola Tinubu had, after removing fuel subsidy on May 29th, asked Nigerians to endure the hardship that followed for a prosperous future. For the former Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sule Lamido, Nigerians were the architect of this problem by bringing the APC to power, rejecting the PDP at the election in 2015 and the subsequent elections.
After 8 years, Tinubu came, he still continued where Buhari stopped. So the next destination is our grave. It's our next destination, the grave. Because the journey is now moving, carrying on the trail line of poverty, hunger, insecurity, hate, despondency, frustration, anger, pain, agony, ordeal. And the destination is the grave.
On the allegation that the ruling party is turning the country into a one-party state, capturing state it lost on the ballot through the law courts, Lamido believes those in power do not exhibit the character of statesmen.
When they try to win every election, by hook or crook, they'll say, okay, go to tribunal. That's what they say. They'll do all they can to win the election. And they'll say, okay, fine, go to tribunal. And by the time you go there, they're there earlier than you. Isn't it? I mean, if the whole CGN of Nigeria would attend a party organized by G5 governors and show its own support for them, it says a lot about judiciary.
He also dismissed insinuations that imposing his son led the party to lose the election in his native Jigawa state, saying he was rather humiliated by his party and former President Goodluck Jonathan because of partisan political interests. Ahmad Datti, Trust TV News, Kano.
The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has called on the World Bank to suspend issuing loans to Nigeria's 36 states over allegations of mismanaging public funds, which may include loans obtained from the institution. In the letter dated 25 November 2023, the group specifically wants the bank's president, Ajay Banga, to promptly, transparently, and effectively conduct an investigation into the spending of loans and other facilities by the country's 36 state governors, and to suspend any loans and funding if there is relevant admissible evidence of mismanagement or diversion of public funds by any of the states. In a statement on Sunday by Sarup Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadare, it also asked the Global Bank to suspend further applications for loans and any other funding to the 36 states until these states can satisfactorily explain details of spending of loans and other facilities obtained from the bank and its partners. One person has been rescued from the partial collapse of a building under construction in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. It was gathered that the incident occurred on Saturday at a construction site in the Central Business District beside Taj Bank in the nation's capital. This was disclosed in a statement by the spokesperson of the Federal Capital Territory Emergency Management Agency, Nkechi Isa, who said the agency was informed about the collapse 1 hour after the construction workers unsuccessfully tried to rescue their trapped colleague to no avail. The team from FEMA and the FCT Fire Service were able to rescue the trapped man with the aid of extrication equipment and the construction company's excavator. The victim was part of the laborers casting the first floor of the building when the entire cast fell on him. The statement read, according to Isa, the victim is currently receiving treatment at the National Hospital, Abuja. Visiting the site, FEMA's Acting Director General, Mohammed Sabo, urged developers to always adhere to the building codes and standards. He called on construction companies and developers to avoid the use of substandard materials or cutting corners during construction. The Kwara Sector Commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps has confirmed the death of 8 travelers at Oke Onigbin along Omwaron Ilorin Road in Irepodun local government area of Kwara State. Corps Commander Stephen Daulung confirmed the death in a statement signed by the Public Relations Officer of the Corps, Busari Basambo. Daulung said that immediately after they received the report of the crash, the FRSC standby rescue team at Omwaron Unit Command was immediately mobilized to the scene for rescue. Dawulung further noted that the victims were conveyed to Ajishafe Hospital, Omwaron, for medical attention, while the 8 corpses were deposited at the mortuary of Adeyamo Hospital, Omwaron. He said further investigation revealed that the crash was caused by speed, wrongful overtaking, and poor visibility. Now, despite the infusion of modernity into the ancient business of blacksmith, operators are still earning a living from it. Some blacksmiths say if supported with the modern tools, they can compete favorably in the market. Trust TV's Bello Musa visited Gidan Makera in the ancient city of Zaria and sent in the report.
They are blacksmiths, also known as Makera in Hausa, and the place they ply their trade is called Makera. This has been their source of livelihood for years. This serves as the local industry which produces tools for household use, farmers, and weapons for war in the ancient days. This house has been in existence for hundreds of years, and it was the then Emir of Zazzau, Malam Abdul Salam, that gave our forefathers the land to build the house when they migrated to Zaria. It is one of the historic houses in Zaria. This cultural building of the house has been there for ages. It comprises many compounds with a nuclear family. The only way for them to keep this old practice alive is to transform the skills to these children at an early age. More than 100 children in this house who all belong to this family, and all of them are learning this trade from early age. This zuga-zugi is key in the Makera, as it is used as a source of energy to melt or bend the iron into different shapes. However, the cost of iron is affecting their production. Challenge is iron. In the past, iron was available and affordable, and we used to even get it for free. But now, we buy it at an exorbitant price, which is affecting our business. In northern Nigeria, farmers, local barbers, and households are still patronizing blacksmiths called Makera in Hausa. They are therefore calling for government's intervention to boost their business. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
You're watching the news update on Trust Television. Coming up after the break, we'll find out how Katsina residents are making a fortune from selling tasty fried grasshoppers. Details of this story and more to come after the break. We'll be right back.
With overcrowded and obsolete infrastructure, residents are caught in a web of skyrocketing rent and controversial demolition exercises.
As an old woman managing your life, they demolish my shop. There are young boys that they also demolish their shops. Where do they want us to go? You can't get a room in Abuja here for 200,000.
Was hit by the housing crisis are the many indigenous people of the FCT. Officials are determined to curb slum communities in the FCT. The marching orders are clear: no more illegal buildings.
What really happened? Some shops were put up where they are not supposed to be. We had understanding with that community, in fact with the community leader. We met several times years back. We understood ourselves. We gave time to each other so that we could respond as at when due. But this unfortunate incident happened.
With limited resources and education, the community's development is stunted. Demolitions have left many indigents with no place to call home.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying. If you're just joining us, this is the news update on Trust Television. Now let's take a look at a recap of some of our top stories. We told you that troops rescue 6 kidnapped victims in Kebbi Forest. Plus, tribunal orders INEC to provide Kogi electoral materials within 48 hours. Now moving on to more news stories, the economic state of majority of Nigerians is depreciating. According to Makurdi residents, it is obvious the government and the elite class are not conversant with the terrible tales going on in the markets. Jimmy Azande reports.
So Benue, like many other states in Nigeria, is a civil service state. Therefore, most people depend on meager monthly salary and profits from petty businesses for survival. In the wake of the new administration of President Bola Tinubu, inflation and cost of goods and services have continued to attract outcries.
Our challenge where we say we suffer for this place, we never get person when we come help. You see at this market the market is small. And you see we never get, if we can get government where we come help us. They say we get company where will help us, they do like fruit juice.
You hold money now, you cannot buy things in the market. Something is difficult. We are suffer and you buy it come, you cannot sell it. You buy cream 700, now cream is 2,000, 2,500 in the lowest price, 2,500 in the market.
We don't suffer too much. They all government all day. We are so they suffer money not to see food to chop on a problem. This on where we are. If you know that this new government to enter now, we need help from them. May they help us.
Despite several policy pronouncements by the state and national governments, the residents fear that there is no corresponding effect on the lives of ordinary citizens.
Government is not encouraging businesses. You start up a small business, and as you are starting, you have so many group of persons coming up with claiming so many tax rights over you.
As of 2022, the unemployment rate in Nigeria is put at 87.7%, which is so alarming. And it calls for concern. And also some persons are incapacitated, because of financial resources, because for individuals to operate, they need some finances.
Where will the help come from? Well, this is a puzzle most residents of Benue are living with, as every day ushers more troubling experiences. Jimmy Azandi, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
Grasshopper is a tropical insect which feeds on plants and other grasses in tropical and semi-arid regions, which favors its existence. It is now consumed as a tasty delicacy in Katsina. Abdullahi Yamadi reports that residents take advantage of the abundance of grasshoppers in the state and turn it into a lucrative business for domestic and export purposes to make ends meet.
Grasshopper is no longer a threat to plants and other crops as it were in the past, as Katsina residents pick, process and fry it as a tasty delicacy.
Due to maybe some that they are lacking of like meats, they can take grasshopper because it have many nutrients, like it's a part of protein diet.
Many believed that grasshopper tastes better when prepared well with ingredients, and it gives the best satisfaction than animal meat and chicken, as asserted by this customer. Wow, this grasshopper tastes good. Let me tell you something you may not be told by any other person. Many married couples, children, and other well-to-do now prefer grasshopper than chicken and other red meats. The secret is for you to find out. There are over 1 million youth within the value chain of grasshopper business, from the supply to the processing and to those selling the end products in the ancient city of Katsina, making millions of naira on daily basis. Abdul Hassan is physically challenged, but dropped begging and resorted to processing and selling fried grasshopper at several spots in Katsina city. Hassan is happy with the business. I am fully contented with this business. From it, I bought houses, plots, got married, pay my children's school fees, and above all, I'm now an employer of labor. Abdul Hassan is not only self-reliant, but has employed over 40 youth who work under him, and from grasshopper business, they pay school fees and other basic necessities. These grasshoppers are not only consumed in Katsina, but other places like Kano, Kaduna, Abuja, Lagos, and other cities in Nigeria. Beyond that, thousands of bags of grasshoppers delivered to Katsina from Niger Republic and nearby bushes around Katsina are processed for export to England, America, Saudi Arabia, and other African countries such as Cameroon, Ghana, and Central Africa Republic. On my own part, I have over 17 people working under me, and we sell from 50, 100, 200, 500, 1,000, up to 20, 50,000 naira grasshoppers. In fact, I have some merchants who buy and send it to their customers in Europe, Saudi Arabia, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, USA, and others. As the business is booming by the day, stakeholders mentioned high cost of vegetable oil and other ingredients as their major constraints, calling on the government to assist them, at least with empowerment. Abdullahi Izuma Yamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
On the foreign scene, a military armory in Sierra Leone's capital, Freetown, came under attack on Sunday, the government announced, as it imposed an immediate national curfew. The government said those attempting to break into the armory had been repelled. Witnesses told AFP they heard gunshots and explosions in the city's Wilberforce district. The Information Ministry said in a statement it assured the public that the government and state security forces are in control. There was no further details given on the alleged perpetrators of the attack or their motives. Sierra Leone, an English-speaking country in West Africa, has been going through a political crisis following presidential and general elections in June this year. And now to development from the Israel-Palestine war. At least 6 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli raids in occupied West Bank. Palestinian Red Crescent says Israeli army besieged 2 hospitals in occupied West Bank in a night of deadly raids. The exchange on the second day of the 4-day truce was delayed for hours over Hamas's allegations that Israel was violating the truce deal. More than 14,800 Palestinians killed in Gaza since October 7. In Israel, the official death toll stands at 1,200. In sports, after 2 days of intense competition, House of Arewa has emerged champions of the inaugural Emir Ado Bayero Dambe Championship Cup held at Dorayi Palace in Kano. The championship, organized by the African Warriors Fighting Championship, the leading promoter of Dambe boxing, was part of events to celebrate the legacy of traditions, a year-long festival showcasing Kano culture with the Kano Emirate Council. At the event, 16 athletes from Dambe houses of Arewa, Kudawa, and Gurumada competed in 8 bouts, with House of Arewa coming out victorious. House of Arewa won 6 out of 8 bouts to secure the Emir's Cup, which was presented to them by His Royal Highness, the Emir of Kano, Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero. The traditional wrestling event attracted over 5,000 fans, while many streamed it live via AWFC, ARTV, and Legacy of Tradition social media pages. Also speaking on the championship, founder of African Warriors Fighting Championship, Maxwell Kalu, said the championship celebrates African tradition. In a sad development, Terry Venables, who guided England to the Euro 96 semi-finals and Barcelona to the 1986 European Cup final, has died aged 80, his family said in a statement on Sunday. Venables endeared himself to English football fans with a superb run to the last four of Euro 96, which England hosted, included a stunning 4-1 thrashing of the Netherlands. Venables also enjoyed success with a Tottenham Hotspur side that included the brilliant but erratic Paul Gascoigne, who lifted the FA Cup in 1991. Venables also won the trophy as a player in 1967 whilst at the club. His time at Spurs ended in bitter acrimony after having been named chief executive. He fell out with the then owner, Alan Sugar. And with that, we've come to the end of the news update at this hour. Do not forget to follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. I'm Aisha Salihu. Thanks for your time.